Hello, everybody who decides to join me. I'm going to turn that speaker down a little bit, actually. Just a second. I'll be right back. I'm sorry. If you'd like your own reading, go to naomitarot.com. So, aloha, everybody who is watching or will watch this, and welcome to my first live reading in a while. I'm going to be going and uploading videos on Patreon within the hour after this. So if you are subscribed to Patreon, don't worry, I've got you. I'm not charging you for only a few videos this month. There's going to be 2 or 3 videos uploaded today on Patreon. So look forward to that. If you haven't already subscribed to Patreon, all the videos on Patreon are $5.99 a month. If you just want to see current events about Corona and things like that, it's $2. And if you just want to see royals, it's $2. But otherwise, let's begin our reading. So we're going to do pick a card, 1, 2, or 3. What do you need to know at this moment in time? And I'm going to use the Gypsy Witch deck. I only have the Rider-Waite and the Gypsy Witch with me, and a few Magdalene Oracle cards just for myself, and I can use for you guys too, because I am in Hawaii. So I'll be here at least for the next month. We'll see what happens without sharing TMI. But yeah, that's it. And I'm going to start the pick a card reading. So I want you to concentrate on a number, 1, 2, or 3, or a card, 1, 2, or 3. Pick a card. What do you need to know right now? What do you need to know right now? Okay, so concentrate, and I'm going to shuffle. Okay, I think that's still too loud. I thought I had my music down, but it's like blasting in my ear. Just a second again. I'm sorry about that. Okay, I put on some classical music. Sorry for you guys who are watching. I had some EDM house electronic music on, and I don't know if that's the best music for tarot card readings. So I am feeling better. Thank you, Kelly. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Christine. I appreciate you guys for coming. So yes, I've been better for a few weeks, and I really appreciate that. I got on antibiotics. It wasn't COVID or anything. So let's pick a card, 1, 2, or 3, what you need to know right now. If you chose message number 1, message number 1 says, okay, message number 1 says, though there is much beauty in your life and there's good news and good luck foretold and good things that will be coming to you, there is a new horizon to look out for, and there is much growth and beauty that's going to be associated with your life in the coming weeks and the coming months. Watch out for those who are around you who may seek to deceive you or be jealous or want to watch you fall, because there is a fox or foxes around you. So this just basically is a great reading for you, number 1. It says that wonderful things are happening or will be happening in the near future in your life, but there are always going to be those, you know, be careful who you share things with type of thing. Be careful what you let on to people. Be careful what you say to people. Be careful how much you open your mouth, because some people don't always have your best interest, even though they may seem like they do. Just be careful who you talk to. For more clarification on that, let's just take out a few more cards. You may be going on a journey. It could be figurative journey, like a new journey in life, like having a baby, moving, getting married, something like that, or just starting a new book or something. Or it could be literal journey, like traveling somewhere or moving somewhere. And that will involve more money and more wealth and more opportunity for you, and it will be beneficial, whatever that change is. So again, you have positive changes, positive growth, number one, really wonderful things happening for you in the next month or so, or the next several weeks from whenever you watch this. Again, this is timeless. You can watch it anytime, but be careful who you surround yourself with and who you let on things to, because they may not always think to themselves the best things for you. Okay. If you chose message number two, what do you need to know right now? Message number two, what do you need to know right now? Message number two. Message number two. These are some interesting readings. Okay. So message number two, it looks like there is an affair of the heart that is going to be something to celebrate. It can be a romantic interest that you already have and you're celebrating a milestone in your relationship, or it can be a new person that you're celebrating your love or finding each other. But it's not that it's too good to be true. It's just that some kind of calamity or some kind of thing that you didn't see coming, or you have to be careful of something that is secret that will come to light about this situation, or people around you holding secrets. It doesn't have to be the person who's your love interest. It can be somebody around them. But there's somebody who is kind of like a snake, and not in a good way. So this deck, the snake isn't good. The snake can mean wisdom. It can be representative of Inanna in ancient Sumerian texts and different deities. In a positive way, it can mean wisdom. But in this deck, it specifically means something, foreboding. And so I would say with caution, enjoy this new time in your life and this growth and this increase and this positivity. But there may be some obstacle that comes up, some mountain that comes up that you must climb, or some unforeseen thing that comes up, right? And you may have to climb it with the person you're with together, or this is just something that was unexpected on your part, something about their life. And perhaps they weren't intentionally deceptive to you. They could have been, but I'm reading more so that they weren't intentionally deceptive. It's just something that came up that they thought was in the past and it wasn't completely. And so be wary. It's not that things are too good to be true. It's just that nothing is perfect type of thing. Nothing's going to be perfect. Nothing's going to be 100% all the time, right? So you have to be able to understand when sometimes, life has ups and downs. Life has things where sometimes it's great. Sometimes you're on cloud nine and it's amazing. And then other times, things come up and it's being human. But I don't think that this is an intentional deception on their part, whoever you're dealing with. It could also alternatively mean that something to celebrate that you've loved for a long time, some aspect of something in your life, like maybe you have a hobby you're passionate about, something will bring you riches and growth and good news and a happier time for you. But some obstacle may come up with somebody around you associated with that who wasn't honest about something having to do with a project you're working on. And you just have to be wary, be prepared, in other words, is what number two is saying. Okay, so if you chose message number three, what do you need to know right now, everybody who's watching? So if you're over on the East Coast, it's about 3 p.m. there, I'm assuming. It is 10 a.m. where I am right now. And believe it or not, while I'm in Hawaii, I'm a morning person. Something about the energy out here and the sun, and that it's basically the antithesis of New York in every way, which we'll see if I will like that in the long term or not. It's a morning place, not a night place like New York. So I definitely am a morning person here. Strangely enough, the first time in my life I've ever been a morning person. So let's go to number 3. What do you need to know right now? So good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. What do you need to know right now if you chose message number 3? What do the people who watch this or will watch this need to know? Okay. So what they will need to know is, okay. All right. So some of similar cards, but it seems like there's a theme with all 3 readings. So there is something that has drawn your heart out recently or made your heart more exposed or made you maybe a little bit more vulnerable. Something that's really got you reminiscing perhaps about the past, or something that pulls your heartstrings from the past. It doesn't have to be like romantic love. It can be of a child, a friend, an experience. You've been feeling like kind of nostalgic and a bit emotional recently. And you feel like maybe in the past you've had bad luck, or something associated with the heart was bad luck to you or hurtful to you, or some things just weren't going right, some connection with the heart. The cards are saying it's time to move on from that. It's time to move forward and to commit to yourself that things are going to get better, that you are deserving of these celebrations, these riches in life, that you are deserving of these good things, and can make a commitment to yourself that you're not going to carry this around with you forever, that you're not going to hold on to that in your heart. Because this came out next to the heart right after I pulled it. So I feel like these two are associated. And this is kind of like saying move on, right? This also could literally mean that some people watching are going to get engaged or married soon. It can mean that, but in a figurative spiritual sense, so we can include everybody who's watching this. It can also just mean commitments to yourself, commitments to others, commitments to a chapter in life. I almost said channel, a new direction in life, a project maybe that you've always wanted to do, a commitment to something you're passionate about, and knowing that this will follow. When you're truly committed to something, this will follow. This will follow. But you have to throw yourself into it. And it's not that you can't feel hurt or pain from past situations. It's just that you have to process it and move beyond. It's not up to you to carry it everywhere you go. It's not up to you to ruminate over it so much that you're hurting yourself, right? It's not to say that it didn't happen or that you have to deny it, whatever it is. If it's a family member, if it's something that happened with a, God forbid, I hope not, but a child, if it's something that happened with a lover, even a pet, whatever it is that really upset you, hurt your heart, you can put that in a place in yourself, but you don't have to carry it up front and center as an open wound all the time, right? You don't have to do that. You don't have to live in that energy. It will only hold you back. But at the same time, you don't want to push it away if you're still experiencing it. You can process it. And working with like a Reiki healer, a therapist, or if you want to do life coaching, or spiritual healing with somebody like me or somebody else, that can be helpful as well if you're going through something painful. So I am happy that you guys are appreciating this and watching, and thank you for commenting, all of you. And I'm glad that they resonate, Kelly. And I'm going to go on now to the second part of this reading, which is talking about Prince Harry. And I'm not sure if I included Selena on the title. I think I was going to talk about Selena Gomez because I have a good number of people on my channel who do like her, a little bit of the millennial or Generation Z crowd. So yeah, I did. I talked about Selena on the title. So I'm going to talk about Selena first, then we're going to go to the royals. So we're just going to do an update. I didn't really read any news things about Selena. I'm just going to do an energy read about how her life is right now. I try not to read updates about celebrities when I do them because I feel like it's a little bit more accurate if I just in general read their energy instead of being, biased because of a news article I read in depth. And then the second part, we'll talk a little bit about Harry signing on to Netflix, but then not wanting himself to be shown on the crown when he's older. Again, I didn't really read the article. I just kind of skimmed at the title. I try to stay away from doing that to not sway my reading. So let's go to Selena. How is Selena Gomez doing? Selena Gomez is a famous, if you guys don't know, she sings I love you like a love song, baby. If you guys know that song, I don't know. It's a popular song, or was a popular song. Okay, so she had something happen to her when I was singing that. That's bizarre. That just popped right out and flipped over. So something happened to her that she felt like was very negative recently. She's trying to appreciate something in her life, and she's trying to get her career back together, and focusing on her money. Okay, so that's what we have so far. So she's a pop star, and she's popular mostly with Gen Z and also some millennials. I think her actual age is barely millennial. I think she's actually Gen Z. I'm not positive, but she's around that generation. She's in her, I believe, mid to later 20s. But let's go and see, what do you have to say about Selena Gomez and the direction of her life? Okay. So currently, she's actually thinking about family. That's at the heart of the situation. She's thinking about money and wealth associated with that, building a home. And in the past, she was surprised by the clouds and somebody from the past. That's probably Justin. That's the past person. This talks about nostalgia, talks about the dark clouds surrounding that and the surprise surrounding that. Maybe she was surprised by their final breakup. In the future, she has the key to success, and she's going to write a new chapter, and she will experience growth, virtue, and a beautiful life. She has a beautiful life ahead of her in the next chapter, despite any bad luck she felt in the past. And she's at a crossroads very much in her life right now. Actually, she's young, but I mean, she's focusing on, what I read from this is, you see home and stork, that means children. It also means building a family. So she's focused on the meaning of family, what family is to her, and who she could have a family with possibly. And she's also focused on her career. And she's finally left the past in the past. And anybody who keeps insisting, no, she's never going to get back together with Justin. I've said this a million times. She is never going to get back with Justin. She's smart. I mean, why would you want her to? That was a very, 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 very toxic relationship she had with Justin Bieber. Better that she doesn't. But I don't see her ever getting back together with him. She's looking towards who's going to be like the person she has a kid with. Because of her lupus, there might have been some concerns associated with that as well. This could also not just mean her past nostalgia with Justin, but her thoughts about children in the past and in the future when she gets older. Would she ever be able to have them? The lightning and the clouds surrounding children in the past. I think that might have something to do with it as well, because she does have a major health concern. But certainly, with all that money and all those resources, I don't think it would necessarily be impossible for her. So she's like thinking about those options in that future for herself. And she does have a bright future with, again, success, a new chapter, growth and virtue, a virtuous and happy life. And despite any quarrels or any losses and family quarrels she might have, like, I do feel like she has a tumultuous relationship with her mother. She does have the key to success with the bear. So overall, I mean, it's a very good outlook for her right now. I think she's actually really thinking about family, what family means to her. She is a Cancer, She has an Aries moon, I believe, but she's a Cancer. So she's got very masculine moon, very feminine sun. So it's a strong contrast between her overall personality and the way she behaves. It's quite interesting, actually. I believe Rihanna's like that too. She's got a Aries moon and a Pisces sun. So again, feminine, masculine contrast. Water and fire, like direct opposite personality. So yeah, she's had some kind of quarrels within her family or with somebody about something, about how she wants to live her life. And she's had a lot of people around her telling her things, but she doesn't want to listen anymore. She kind of wants to listen to herself. She's done taking advice from everybody else. She's tired of everybody, the birds chirping in her ears. And she's just like, I want this part of my life or this aspect of my life to go away. I'm at a crossroads right now, and I just want to have a vision for my life that, yes, though there was strife in my life because, she had the kidney transplant and all of that, and there was a long road, I'm looking towards my good luck, and I'm looking towards the things that are going to fulfill my heart. Getting married, she's thinking of that too, and are going to produce growth, children, etc. So she's thinking about all of that. That's where she is right now in her life. And she's doing well in her career because I keep getting success cards, growth cards. Long and happy life is what the park means. Order, which is esteem, the moon, good omens. I mean, there's mostly good cards. She's making some kind of deal with her record label maybe, or something with what direction her music is going to go in, possibly a new direction. It's going to be a lot different next time she comes out with an album. So let's now go on to Harry and Meghan, because I know that's the topic that a lot of people probably want to hear. So we'll just go on to Harry. I'm going to focus mostly on Harry with this because that's who's in the title. And, you know, I just thought people might find that interesting since, yes, I do have people who like the royals on this channel. I'm going to go perhaps more in depth on this on Patreon. If you haven't already subscribed to Patreon, there is a royal reading on there. You can watch it with the full package for $5.99. You can watch every video, including sign readings that I'm going to put up today. Or you can just watch a royals tier only, which is $2, or current events, mostly about Corona, which is $2. Today, that's going up on Patreon is a sign reading and a Corona reading about globalization in the world and the ultimate vision for the world that with globalization in mind, that is going to be happening, particularly with the results of this election. So that is going to be what's going to be going on Patreon today. What's already up there is a reading about Harry and Meghan and some updates on that and the royal family. And in addition to that, I believe I have one other Corona reading already up. You can check it out on the Patreon, but there's going to be a new sign reading and a new Corona reading up today, or a global energy read of what's going on in the collective unconscious in the world and all the influences right now. So Harry said that basically, according to the title of the article, I didn't really read it. He said that he didn't want Netflix to have him. He didn't want Netflix to have him and Meghan shown when they were older, right? He wanted it to stop when he was a kid or something, like The Crown. He didn't want them to show, you know, that show, The Crown. It's all about the royals. And now they've got Diana on the show. Oh my gosh. And they're showing William and Harry when they were kids. I still have to watch it. He wanted it to stop at that point, I guess is what he was saying to some interviewers a while ago. Well, him and Meghan received a deal for a Netflix special with some kind of charities they're doing, and they were given allegedly money by Netflix. So people find it a bit hypocritical that he would do that, because it's like, well, you want to get money in this way, but you don't want to be shown in the other way, and you want to have like total control over everything, but you're a public figure. So I'm just going to sit down like this because my legs are falling asleep. So he sounds a bit like a hypocrite, right? But let's just do a read on how he feels about The Crown, how he feels about the show for real, if he really said all those things or he really cares the way it's making him seem. How does he feel about it? Okay. So it makes him think of a woman. This could be his mother, because we have woman, and lilies can talk about virtuous life, happy life, but it also can talk about sorrow associated with somebody. Lilies can also mean the passing of somebody. So immediately when I saw that, I thought of his mother, not Meghan actually in this context, and the fox, those that deceive us, and those that trick us, and the beauty that people and the love that people don't necessarily see. I think he knew, I mean, he knows that everybody loved his mother. Everybody knows that. You don't have to be her son to know that everybody loved Diana. There's very few people who didn't like her, but I think he was concerned over, he sees people trying to make money off of her as foxes or deceivers, or he doesn't trust the portrayal of her in a lot of things he watches. So I think a lot of it is more about his mother. But it also could be that he doesn't trust the portrayal of Meghan. This could be also Meghan, or just representing the women in his life. He wants to rewrite, you know, he wants to write his future, not rewrite. Future isn't written yet. He wants to write his future himself. And he doesn't want these unnecessary negative things, the tower surrounding him and Meghan and making the road longer for them, right? He feels like a lot of these people who create these shows are snakes. Again, snakes and foxes, doesn't trust them. And he wants good omens. He wants a good portrayal. He feels like he has, it's about control, basically. He feels like he has control over it, where he does his Netflix special, but when they do The Crown, he doesn't really have creative control over something. And so it rubs him the wrong way, right? And his vision, he has an intense desire, a burning desire. The flames talk about a burning desire for a vision that he has, for his family and what he wants to portray him and his family as. So my first instinct was, even though he said it was about him growing up and William growing up, he didn't really want the crown to show. I think a lot of it also has to do with he doesn't want to show the after effects of after his mother passed. That's a very sensitive topic to him still. With William, of course, although William is a bit more closed off and professional about everything because, you know, he is the next in line after Charles. So he has like a feeling of protection and like lay off of that kind of thing. I know her, you don't know her type of thing, which makes sense because he would know her better than everybody else as his mother. He just wants to be held. He wants to keep that image of high esteem and good luck. He also wanted the money for it too. Yes, they did want the money for the Netflix special, and growth and positivity. He really wants to control their image as much as possible with Meghan and create a positive image of good luck, prosperity, people who are well liked, and he doesn't want to show any negative portrayals also. So it is mainly about his mother, but it's about negative portrayals that he fears that they would show, which most people I think could figure out. But yeah, he's just kind of, it's like he has this vision the way he wants things to be, and that's the way he wants it to look. You know, a lot of people say, oh, Harry's a Virgo, he doesn't really act like a Virgo. Well, they don't know Virgos then, because a lot of people think just because Virgo is supposed to be neat and orderly, they must be like an uptight, boring librarian. Well, believe me, I've known some Virgos who are really, really out there. I'm a Virgo, but I've known some, I have an Aquarius moon, which makes me a little kooky, but I mean like out there, like I knew a Virgo. He was a friend of a boyfriend I had in the past. And I did not date this guy because he was like, you know, you can be friends with people, but they're nothing like you or your boyfriend. And he had run a nightclub before. He was the life of the party. He had blown part of his brain out partially because of drugs. Was like this wild child, but he also knew all these random facts, and he was very organized, not necessarily neat because his stuff was thrown everywhere, but he was very organized with certain things, and he was a perfectionist with certain things. So what I'm trying to say is, just because Harry seemed like that wild party boy to everybody, and they think, oh, he's too outgoing to be a Virgo, oh, he's too this to be a Virgo, that's because their stereotype of a Virgo is like I said, a neat, orderly, boring librarian, which is so far from the truth. Because the part of the symbolism of the Virgo is every sign has an opposite and the face that they wear to the world within one sign. So Virgo is like kind of like that energy of somebody who, yes, appears pure and orderly and very measured and likes things controlled, but also has like a dark side of wanting to just be out of control. So this is why when people saw that, because the opposite of it is Pisces, and not that Pisces are all out of control, but they, in their other energy, they tend to be all over the place when they're in their other energy, not their regular, you know, each sign has low and high energy. So Harry partying and being wild and all of that stuff isn't necessarily far from being a Virgo. It's just another side of it. But the desire, what I'm trying to get at, to have things structured and controlled, and this is the way I want us to look, and this is the vision I have for us, and trying to control that is very much a Virgo, actually. So the extroversion he has, really, you can be an extrovert or an introvert and be any sign. And the partying, also, I've known quite a lot of Virgos who drink heavily. So that's not, to me, that's not unusual to know that, or have partied in their day or whatever. But he definitely is behaving like a male Virgo in that sense. He wants to make sure that his vision of how they look together is going to be portrayed correctly and accurately. And he is somebody who, when he knows he's right about something, he feels very offended when something is not done, particularly about his own life. Somebody he loves, like his mother or his wife, is not representative of what he feels to be true. Because again, like Scorpio, Virgo and Scorpio are the two signs particularly that really like to say, no, this is my truth. This is what I know to be true. And you're not going to tell me otherwise. They're both similar in that sense. So they do it in a different way, though. So to me, it makes sense why he'd behave this way. And he is going to be somewhat of a perfectionist as well and want control over projects. That's why he would probably be happy with signing that Netflix project with Meghan, because he'd have some sense of control over it, over the details of it again, and ownership over it. And also the compensation, I'm sure, wasn't too bad for either of them either, for both of them either. That's what I meant to say. So, you know, essentially he just basically feels like, why shouldn't I? Like, why shouldn't we sign on to this? This is like part of our life and we're going to get benefits from it as well. And we have a chance to show what we're going to do and try to gear their image in a positive light. So that's how he looks at it. So that's about it. I'm going to get off of here because I have to go on the chat line that I work on. And I also have to edit those 2 Patreon videos that I talked about. One of them I have to do, one of them I have to edit, and I'm just looking at the thing I have to sign on to. So I'm going to get off of here. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. I'm going to try to go on here more now that I'm a bit more settled here for now. And we'll see what happens. And as always, if I do recorded videos, I'll try to show you beautiful things in Hawaii. And as long as I am here. And later, if I end up back in New York, I'll show New York like I always do. And if I'm somewhere else, I'll show you somewhere else. So thank you. And if you'd like your own reading, life coaching session, incantation, spell, incantations and spells are basically the same, but I use different words, spirit channeling, or astrology chart, go to naomitarot.com. My readings start at $25. They go up from there. And I offer many different things, as well as if you would like a full moon reading. The full moon is on November 30th, I believe. Let me just make sure before I say that. Yes, it's on November 30th at 4:32 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that would mean, in my time, it's 11:32 p.m. November 29th. So I'll be doing the readings on the 29th, my time, but when most of you guys watch this, unless you're in Australia or somebody that's closer in time zone to here, we have our own time zone in Hawaii. So unless you're over maybe in California, you might be closer too, but I'll be doing the actual spells on the 29th. So order those if you would like them. I'm going to be doing money, love, protection, money, love, protection, banishing, binding to, get rid of something, whatever, you can look at the website. And again, thank you so much for watching. And thank you. Mahalo is what they say out here. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.